Iran-Israel tension and the Strait of Hormuz. Our top story today comes from the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the most strategically important waterway in the world. Nearly 20% of global trade oil shipment passes through this narrow passage connecting the Persian Gulf to international markets. Recent tensions involving Iran have once again raised concern about the Iran-Israel tension and the Strait of Hormuz. Our top story today comes from the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the most strategically important waterway in the world. Nearly 20% of global trade oil shipment passes through this narrow passage connecting the Persian Gulf to international markets. Recent tensions involving Iran have once again raised concern about the security of the critical route. For global market, the stakes are enormous. Any disruptions to shipping in the Strait of Hormuz can immediately affect oil prices, increases transportation cost and triggering inflation across the major economies. The United States continues to maintain a stronger naval presence in the region, while countries such as China, India, Japan, and members of European Union are closely monitoring developments because of their dependence on Gulf energy supplies. Russia-Ukraine war enters another critical phase. Moving to Europe, the war between Russia and Ukraine remains one of the defining geopolitical conflict of our time. Both sides continue to rely heavily drone warfare, missile strikes, and advanced military technology. Ukraine is seeking additional air defense system from NATO alliance as Russia continues attacks on strategic targets. Meanwhile, Western nations remains divided over how long military assistance can be sustained. For Europe, the conflict is not just about Ukraine, it's about the future security architecture of the continent and credibility of Western alliances. Military analysts suggest that neither side appears capable of achieving that decisive victory in the near future, raising the possibility of a prolonged conflict extending into the coming years. The outcome of this war will likely influence global security calculations for decades. United States and China, the new global rivalry. Despite diplomatic engagement between Washington and Beijing, competition between United States and China continues to intensify. The rivalry now extends across trade, technology, artificial intelligence, semiconductor manufacturing, and military influence in the Indo-Pacific region. Both countries are working on strengthening their strategic positions while reducing dependency on each other's critical industries. As a result, global supply chains are being reshaped. Countries such as India, Vietnam, and Mexico increasingly benefiting from companies seeking alternative manufacturing destinations. Experts believe that this competition could define international relations throughout the 21st century. The challenge for rest of the world is navigating this rivalry without becoming caught in the middle. South China Sea remains a global flashpoint. The South China Sea remains one of the most dangerous and important geopolitical hotspots on the planet. Several countries, including the Philippines and Vietnam, continues to dispute China's territorial claims in the region. The United States has increased cooperation with regional allies, conducting joint exercises and reframing commitments to freedom of navigation. This matters because more than $3 trillion worth of global trade passes through these waters every day. Any military confrontation could disrupt shipping routes, damage global commerce, and increase regional instability. Security experts warn that even a minor incident involving naval forces could quickly escalate into a border crisis. For now, diplomacy remains the preferred option, but tension remains high. NATO preparing for major strategic decisions. The alliance is preparing for important decisions regarding defense spending, military readiness, and long term support for Ukraine. European nations are increasing defense budgets at levels not seen since the Cold War. The objective is clear: strengthening deterrence against potential threats while ensuring collective security. However, question remains regarding burden sharing among members states and the future directions of the alliance. As global security challenges continues to evolve, NATO decision will have consequences for beyond Europe. The coming months could reveal how prepared the alliances is for rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. To summarize today's major developments, tension in Strait of Hormuz continues to threaten global energy security. The Russia-Ukraine war remains a central challenge for Europe and NATO. Competition between United States and China is reshaping the global economy. The South China Sea remains critical flashpoint in the Indo-Pacific region. And the NATO is preparing for decisions that could influence international security for years to come. In an increasingly interconnected world, events in the region can quickly affect economies, markets, and security across the globe. That's why understanding geopolitics has never been more important. That's all for today's global update. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below in the video.